Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel The WAR Diary. Please make sure to subscribe and like my videos, because today we are going to dive into one of the most decisive and controversial moments in the ongoing conflict, friendship or enmity. A decisive moment. This is not just about the clash of weapons or the noise of the battlefield. It is about the thin line between trust and betrayal, between alliance and rivalry, and between cooperation and hostility. The question remains, are nations and their leaders moving toward lasting partnerships, or are they sliding deeper into confrontation? Let us examine this through the lens of war strategy, shifting alliances, performance of military hardware, the safety of populations, and the unique selling points that define the trajectory of this conflict. By the end, you will see how decisions made in these hours can redefine the future of not just the battlefield, but also the global order. When we talk about the exterior, it's about the visible side of this conflict. On the outside, nations are projecting an image of unity, solidarity, and resolve. You see carefully crafted press conferences, joint military exercises, and symbols of power displayed through tanks, aircraft, and missile systems. The exterior suggests strength, courage, and brotherhood, but beneath that surface there are cracks. Are these alliances based on true friendship, or are they tactical partnerships of convenience? The exterior looks solid, but history tells us that the strongest alliances can break overnight when interests clash, and in this decisive moment, that fragility of appearance is what keeps the world watching. When we move to the interior, the story becomes even more complex. Inside the war rooms, behind closed doors, leaders are grappling with dilemmas that the public does not see. Conversations revolve around survival, political power, economic leverage, and hidden agendas. The interior is filled with confidential deals, secret negotiations, and promises that are made but not always kept. Military advisors are presenting maps covered in red and blue markers. Intelligence officers are whispering about the movement of enemy drones, and diplomats are balancing on a tightrope between diplomacy and aggression. The soldiers on the front lines face the brutal interior reality of hunger, exhaustion, and the trauma of war. Families in their homes live the interior truth of fear, uncertainty, and the sound of sirens piercing the night. This interior is not polished, not scripted. It is raw, emotional, and often devastating. While the exterior shines like armor, the interior reveals the human cost of decisions that are made in those decisive hours. The performance of the war effort is another critical aspect. Nations are showcasing how their technologies, strategies, and forces are performing under the harshest tests. The deployment of drones, long-range missile systems, electronic warfare, and cyber attacks are being judged like the performance of a machine under review. Who is efficient? Who is adaptive? Who is falling behind? Performance here is not about speed or beauty. It is about survival, dominance, and results on the battlefield. Some forces have exceeded expectations, surprising the world with their creativity and effectiveness. Others, weighed down by corruption, poor planning, or outdated systems, have failed when it mattered most. Performance is being measured in territory gained or lost, in lives saved or wasted, and in the message it sends to allies and enemies alike. In these decisive moments, performance is the difference between being respected and being abandoned. Safety features in war may sound paradoxical, but they are at the heart of this narrative. Safety is about how nations protect their people in the middle of chaos. It is about the air raid shelters that save civilians from missile strikes, the anti-drone systems that intercept deadly attacks, and the humanitarian corridors that allow families to escape the front lines. Safety is also about communication systems, medical aid, and the resilience of infrastructure under pressure. For soldiers, safety is about body armor, mine detectors, and evacuation plans. For leaders, it is about ensuring that their decisions do not unleash uncontrollable destruction. Yet the tragic reality is that in war, safety is never guaranteed. Every strike, every counterattack, every escalation threatens the safety net that nations promise to their citizens. The failure of safety features is not just a tactical weakness, it is a moral one. What makes these moments unique are the selling points that distinguish one side from another. For some, it is the narrative of defending sovereignty and freedom. For others, it is the claim of restoring lost pride and historical justice. The unique selling point of alliances is the promise of strength in unity. The unique selling point of resistance is the courage to stand alone against overwhelming odds. Technology becomes a selling point, whether it is hypersonic missiles, AI-driven drones, or cyber dominance. Propaganda itself is a selling point, shaping perceptions and controlling the global narrative. Each side markets its vision, hoping to attract supporters, justify sacrifices, and solidify their place in history. These unique selling points may look appealing, but the reality behind them is often blood and tears. The price of these decisions, however, is enormous. Price is not just about the billions spent on weapons, aid packages, or sanctions. The true price is paid in human lives, in the destruction of cities, and in the erosion of trust between nations. Every bomb that falls has a price in the lives of children who lose their schools, families who lose their homes, and societies that lose their future. The price is also psychological, leaving scars on generations who will grow up with memories of sirens, shelters, and loss. Economically, nations are sacrificing growth, stability, and trade opportunities for the sake of conflict. The price of betrayal, if alliances collapse, can be catastrophic, pushing nations from friends into enemies within hours. In this decisive moment, everyone is asking, is the price worth it? In conclusion, the question of friendship or enmity is not just theoretical. It is being answered every hour through choices on the battlefield, in diplomatic chambers, and in the minds of ordinary people. The exterior shows strength, the interior reveals vulnerability, performance defines respect, safety measures reflect morality, unique selling points shape perception, and the price is paid by those who can least afford it. Whether these decisive moments lead to friendship or enmity will determine the future of not only the nations involved but also the global system built around them. This is the crossroads of history, and the world is watching with bated breath. Stay tuned, because the story is far from over. And remember, in times of war, friendship and enmity are not permanent. They are choices made in decisive moments.